Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you guys can see from the title, I'm excited for this one. It's my favorite color, but we're doing another ranking video and I'm doing pink edition, and I am so excited for this one. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that I don't have that many selection when it comes to like the pink tone of palettes. There's a few palettes I did have to leave out because I was like, okay, maybe this is not a full-on pink palette because that's 3 shades in here. So there's a lot of palettes like that in my collection that I feel like could be in here, but I was really trying to have a full-on dedicated like pink family related color story style of palette. So let's get started. I think I have a total of 10 palettes to show you guys, so I'm going to start from the bottom, then we're going to bring it to the top. So let's jump right into it. Alright, coming in number 10 is the ColourPop palette. This one's called the Cloud Spun, and the reason why I didn't really too much care for it is because of the shade range that's in here. There's a lot of pretty like pinks in here, but going off of my complexion, a woman of color, there's only so much I can do without adding other shades or other palettes to make this palette works for me. So it's like a good like maybe 2 or 3 crease shades in here, and then that's pretty much it. That's all I can work with. Yeah, but I do like the actual like metallics and the glitters and everything, so it's not a bad palette, but just comparing to the other palettes that I'm going to be showing, somebody had to come in at number 10. Okay, so this is unfortunately number 10, and I think I haven't really used it. I think I finger swatched it and haven't really did a tutorial on it, so maybe one of these days I will. I don't know. Coming in at number 9, this is by Makeup Obsession. This is the Pretty in Pink palette, and I feel like I have the same opinion with all of these Makeup Obsession little tiny monochromatic palettes, is that their eyeshadow pans are so freaking small to the point it makes it hard for you to use any shade in here because the shadows are so freaking tiny. But I will give this one credit for the color story that's put in here. There's some good ranges of color shades in here. My only disappointment is that they put a little bit too many metallics in here, but what's making up for the metallics is that they put the perfect 2 dark pink shades that are matte, so I can pretty much work with any of the other shades because I have those 2 pinks to kind of like rely on when it comes to putting them in my crease. So that was a good thing about this one. I feel like this is like my favorite from the Makeup Obsession palettes that I've been showing so far. This one, they did good. I felt like the rest was just like a no, but yeah, so this one is coming in number 9 because of the size and pretty much the color story. So this one was kind of hard. But this is number, I forgot what number we're on, number 8. Number 8. So this is the Juvia, the Blush Rose palette. I love this palette. I really do. So don't discredit me for putting it at number 8. But the only thing I feel like why it fell so hard at the bottom is because of the shade ranges that's put in here. Like the color story is beautiful, but literally if I wanted to do like a pink look just using this palette without using this brown that's in here, I only have 1 shade to rely on when it comes to the crease. As for the other matte shades in here, they're a little bit too light for me to put them in my crease. So if I was a lighter complexion, I feel like there would be a lot more workable looks and when it comes to this palette. But being that I'm a melanin girl, I feel like there's only so much I can do with this look without having to use the brown or to combine another eyeshadow palette to make this palette work for me. But the color story is beautiful. I just wish there was like 1 more shade deeper, but I get the whole concept. It's supposed to be a blush tone palette, so it's supposed to be like those rosy pinks and stuff like that. So I get the concept. I'm just saying, like, if I wanted to just do a full-on dedicated look using this palette, which I can, I just feel like I can't do that many different looks when it comes to using this palette. But who said palettes is meant to be just using by itself? Like, when you're a palette hoarder like me, it's like, is that really the complaint? No, that's why I bought it. But just going off of the rankings, this is why this is number 8. And I will say my favorite shade in here is that metallic color. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Alright, so coming in at number 7, this is the ColourPop monochromatic palette. This was called the Too Hot, and I believe they came in like, I want to say 5 different shades when it came to the monochromatic style. I only got this one and one other one because I did feel like a lot of them were repeating some of the palettes that ColourPop have already created. Y'all know ColourPop. I know they're known for that, okay? No shade, but shade. But I still bought them. Well, not all of them, but I still bought this one. And I bought this one in particular because it was on sale. I think it was like 50% off. So I was like, okay, why not? I do love me some pinks. I was like, and this was the one that I was like really eyeing on. So once it was 50% off, your girl bought it. And it's a really good palette. I do love the fact that there's beautiful, deep matte shades in here. But as for the rest of them, you know what? No, it's not a bad palette. I mean, it's only 5 eyeshadows in here, so it is so much you can do with it. These two definitely like stole the show. So this is an actual good palette though, but it still needs to be in a ranking spot on where it's at right now because y'all got to see the next one. All right, so we're on number 6. Number 6, yes, it's ColourPop Family Time now. So this is the Fine Feather palette. I actually wanted to move this a little bit higher. It's kind of like a tie between this spot and number 5, and you will see why. But I really love this one. Is this considered pink? Pinkish? Kind of, sort of, right? Yeah, I think it's pink. I feel like it's a little bit pink and purple together, but the shade ranges are so beautiful. And I think I tried this palette out maybe once, but not a physical like tutorial for you guys, and I definitely need to come back and do that. But I love the fact that there's a lot of deep shades in this palette, so I can do a lot of like variety of looks when it comes to this palette. And honestly, it's not really that many metallics now that I'm looking at it. It's only like 3 metallic shades in here, and the rest is all matte. So why are you number 6? Boo. I don't know, but this is a good palette. I love it. Okay, so now coming in number 5 is the monochromatic palette I was just talking about, Ooh La La by ColourPop. And like I said, it's very similar to, what did I just do with it? And I do feel like a lot of these shades are in this palette as well. About a good 3 of them, and that's a lot coming from a 5 eyeshadow palette. But I guess if you didn't want this one, you can get this one. But why did I get both? Because I'm a hoarder. But I really like this one, and it's a tie between this one and the other one I just showed you guys, because I love the deeper shades in that one, but it's not really like a full-on pink palette. So when I think of like pink, this actually is a full-on pink palette. And there is a lot of deeper shades in here as well, a lot of like odd different shade of pinks, so I do like that. And again, I think this one only has 3 metallics, maybe 4, give or take. The only thing I have to say about this one in particular, I don't know if I got a default or this is how these palettes are, but these eyeshadows have fell out of this palette I don't know how many times. I have put them back, and I thought I put them back in the correct order, so they might not be in the correct order. But that's the only thing I have to say, is that it was made kind of like cheapy in a way, and I can definitely tell they have changed the packaging just a tad bit when it came to this actual palette. Like this one, I like this material better than this plastic one. I just feel like it's a little too cheap, but I love the color story in this one. I do have a look or two using this palette. It's just absolutely beautiful, and I don't know, now I feel like I should switch them now because I like this one more too. I don't know, it's like a tie. They're both coming in like 5-ish, 6-ish spots. All right, coming in number 4, I was debating if this was an actual pink palette, but the more I look at it, it is a pink palette. It's more of a blush tone of pinks, and they did add a little bit of like neutral brown shades in here and a little bit of like deep like burgundy shades in here. So to me, it's a pink palette because I think I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the, how many eyeshadows is in here? So about 8-ish, 9-ish of the eyeshadows in here are pink related, but the rest are like neutral. But to me, like I said, I think this is considered pink, and plus the outside, it definitely tells me like it's pink because the outside is pink. Is that kind of confusing? I don't know, but I put this in the category of pink as well. This is the actual palette that I used to create my look, so it's pink. I got a pink look out of it. It's pink shades in here. It's pink, and this is why this is number 4. And this is the Morphe palette, and I love the color story in this. And like I said, I really like the fact that they added neutral shades in here, so it's not just a pink palette. Like you can do a lot of different looks, and this palette is meant to be soft, and that's why this was considered to come out of this came out during like the blush collection they had, came out with the blushes and everything, so it's meant to be a softer version. So I get why it's a lot of soft pinks in here and not no deep pinks, because it's a blush tone palette, and it's pretty. I love the metallics in here, and I love the mattes in here, and it's just a beautiful palette. Crazy thing is, I miscounted. I thought I had 10 palettes, but I have 11. So I was like, where did this palette come from? But yes, okay, so I miscounted, so there's 11. Okay, so I have to recorrect the numbers, but the order is still fine. It's just weird. Okay, so coming in at number 4 for real. This is my Hershey Kiss palette by Glam. I really love Glam formulas. I love their palettes. I just had a little salty feeling about the metallics that was put in here, especially this top one. I wanted to like this shade so much. I worked with it, and I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted to work. So that's the only reason why I didn't really too much care for this palette. Otherwise it would have been a little bit more higher, but I do like the deep shades that's in here, and I love the mattes that's in here. So this is a beautiful palette by Glam, and I feel like this is a pink vibe palette, right? Or is it more of a burgundy? Look, the outside's pink. It's pink. It's pink. Okay, it's pink in your girl's eyes. All right, coming in at number 3 is the Crown Case. I love the Crown Case palette. If I had to pick my favorite monochromatic like collection, I want to say it's definitely the Crown Case. I feel like she did what she was supposed to do when it came to the monochromatic palettes, like the shade ranges that was picked in there, the formulas, like the packaging, beautiful. These are definitely my favorite monochromatic collection, and I want to put this in a higher ranking, but number 3 is a good spot for this one, and I'll explain why this is number 3. I love these pinks. These pinks are so beautiful. I love the shade ranges in them. Look at that. And being that this is from a black owned businesswoman, I feel like she understands the black related melanie complexion, so she knows exactly what shades to put in the palette to complement not only every skin tone, but of course the melanie complexion as well, because I feel like we do get left out a lot when it comes to creating these palettes, that they don't think about the deeper shades out there that can actually have a good outcome on using a particular palette. So this is good for all shade ranges. Like I can see a lot of skin tones doing a damn thing with this palette. This palette is so beautiful. It definitely gives me Barbie vibes, and it's definitely relatable to my nails. Like I feel like it's the same shade ranges in here. So pretty. Alright, number 2 is going to be my Juvia Berries palette. And I was debating, I was like, is this considered a pink palette, or is this like a burgundy related palette? But I feel like it's still pink because of the shade range that's chosen in here. I want to say there's like 2 like deep burgundy shades, but certain burgundy shades can kind of fit in the pink category, or it can also go for purple. But I feel like how this color story is placed and everything, I definitely get pink vibes from this palette. So this is why it's number 2. I love the deep shades. Y'all know I'm a deep girl. I love my deep dark shades, and everything about this palette is just spot on, perfect, and especially for the amount of eyeshadows that's in here. This is beautiful. This would be a good combination with the Blush Rose palette. This would be just amazing. Like I really love this palette a lot, and I just feel like they picked the perfect matte shades to go with the metallic. Like this was very thought out. This is like one of my favorite palettes from Juvia. I really love it. Of course, the little ombre effect that's going on with the palette, like this palette sold me all, just from the outside of it. Like Juvia know what they're doing when it comes to the packaging. Okay, now I'm so excited. Okay, so now coming in at number 1. Oh my gosh, I love this palette. It has the perfect shade ranges of pinks, the perfect shade ranges of formulas when it comes down to the matte and what shade should be metallic. Like this was a very thought out palette, and I just love this brand overall. And the palette was just like spot on, just the perfect pink palette that I had in my collection, and this is why this is number 1. Yes! This is the Beauty Bay Berries palette. Y'all, look at this. You have your deep burgundy shades, you have your deep pink shades, you have your light pink. Barbie doll pink, bubblegum pink, and then you have these beautiful metallics that's going to complement all of these mattes in here. Like, this was the perfect amount of eyeshadows in here, the perfect amount of shade ranges, and the perfect formula that's put in for each shade. Like, I have no complaints about this palette whatsoever. Like, this palette is just all-time favorite. Like, if I had to drop kick all of my other pink palettes just to have this one, I would definitely do it within a heartbeat, because this palette has a little bit of everything that I just showed in my top 11 that's thrown into this palette. Like, it's all mixed into this palette right here, and this palette is so beautiful. And another thing I wish Beauty Bay would do, I want them to do more monochromatics, because I feel like with their formulas and in the color story, I feel like they know what they're doing. So if they come out with like a yellow or an orange one, ooh, that sounds so pretty. Or even combine, I'm definitely here, because I think they only have like maybe like 2 palettes like this, but I am definitely here. If Beauty Bay decides to do monochromatic palettes, please do so. I am already on board right now for it, because I love their formulas, I love their packaging, and I love their freaking prices. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so that is my top 10. Kidding, top 11. My top 11 when it comes to all of my pink related palettes. I really do hope you guys like this video. Definitely leave me a comment. Let me know first off the bat, what is your favorite pink palette that you own in your collection? And if there's a palette out there that's pink and you feel like I should definitely have in my collection that's not in here, let me know as well in the comment section, because I feel like I should have more pink palettes. Is there more pink palettes out there, or is this it? Like, let me know. And I probably overlooked some of my palettes because I have so many palettes. I probably misplaced some of my pink ones. I don't know, but y'all definitely leave me those comments down at the bottom and let your girl know. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You guys have a beautiful day. Stay blessed, stay amazing, and I'll see you guys in my next video, or my next ranking. Yes, my next ranking. I've done a few already, so yeah, be on the lookout. I got a couple more coming your way. Okay, so be on the lookout. Yes. Bye guys.